Daily Devotion with Pastor Balla for June 7th, 2021, from Luke chapter 24, Two Natures of Jesus. It is easy to see that Jesus is a true man. Jesus was born in Bethlehem. Jesus walked and talked with people. Jesus ate and slept just like the rest of us. Jesus even suffered, bled, and died. These are all very human characteristics. Jesus is also true God. He did miracles that you and I could not do. Let's hear this from John chapter 3, beginning with verse 1. Now there was a man of the Pharisees named Nicodemus, a ruler of the Jews. This man came to Jesus by night and said to him, Rabbi, we know that you are a teacher come from God, for no one can do these signs that you do unless God is with him. Yes, Jesus is true God, the Son of God. But when Jesus died on the cross, did anything change in Jesus? The answer is no. Jesus is still true man, he dies, and true God. You see, once God takes on flesh and blood, you can't separate the humanity from the divinity of Jesus. There is just one Jesus, and I will admit, this is hard for us to understand, especially in light of the crucifixion of Jesus. Because can God die? Jesus, the second person of the Holy Trinity, is true man and true God. And yes, Jesus did die on the cross, and on the third day rose again. Since this is a hard concept for us to understand, Jesus needs to teach us and the disciples. So let's continue the account of St. Luke in St. Luke chapter 24, verse 36. As the disciples were talking about these things, Jesus himself stood among them and said to them, Peace to you. But they were startled and frightened and thought they saw a spirit. The reaction of the disciples and the rest of the humanity would be the same. We really don't know what is going on. So Jesus needs to settle their fears. Verse 38, and Jesus said to them, Why are you troubled? And why do doubts arise in your hearts? See my hands and my feet, that it is I myself. Touch me and see. For a spirit does not have flesh and bones as you see that I have. There is truly a body of Jesus, and that body is alive and real flesh and real bone. And a spirit doesn't have these things. Let's continue on with verse 40. And when Jesus had said this, he showed them his hands and his feet. And while they still disbelieved for joy and were marveling, he said to them, Have you anything here to eat? They gave him a piece of broiled fish, and he took it and ate before them. Now Jesus eats, and a spirit can't do that either. So yes, Jesus is true God and is true man. He was that way ever since the angel Gabriel announced to Mary very early on in St. Luke chapter 1, verse 35. And the angel answered Mary, The Holy Spirit will come upon you, and the power of the Most High will overshadow you. Therefore, the child to be born will be called Holy, the Son of God. Yes, Jesus is true man and true God from this time and for the rest of eternity. For us as Christians, this should give us a great deal of comfort as we see the resurrected Jesus with real flesh and bone. We realize that we also will rise again at the last day, and we also will have real flesh. And just as Jesus was eating with the disciples, so also we will be eating in heaven above. For Jesus does indeed have two natures, true man and true God. God's peace and many blessings be with you, and thank you for listening. And please take an opportunity to share this message with others. If you have enjoyed these daily devotions, please consider making a donation to Peace Lutheran Church, 24024 West Main Street, Plainfield, Illinois, 60544. Thank you again for listening.